Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. This is Brad Varnell, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. Today, I am coming to you live at about 7:20 p.m. on, I guess it is Thursday, June 16th of 2022. I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's been on my heart tonight. I'm so amazed, as you saw in the title, I'm so amazed at how impatient so many people can be. To give you an example, darn runny nose. To give you an example, folks, over the last 6, 7, 8, 9 months, a huge percentage of my friends and families and a lot of people that I care about have kind of come into crypto because they saw the freedom that it finally created in my life. But even though they saw that it took all of 2018, a little bit of 2017, all of 18, all of 19, all of 20, and then 2021 was when it really all became worthwhile. Even though they watched that, I have so many friends and family members and people from my YouTube community that are freaking out that just got into crypto last year. I have a good friend of mine that got in, during the kind of the dip last year. We had May, June, July were pretty crummy. He kind of got in during that period of time, so he got a decent deal on some cryptos. He started investing a little bit more heavily in August, September, October. Everything was going up. He was loving life. And now the poor guy, I mean, he doesn't even want to talk to me about crypto. It's kind of frustrating. I guess the whole point of tonight's show, folks, is most of you and me before crypto, we were on what I like to call the 40-40-40 plan, which is where you work 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life, for somebody that for somebody that you don't really like, a lot of times a job that you hate going to retire off of about 40% of what you weren't really making it on in the first place. The other word for it is the rat race. But in looking at my YouTube channel, I see the demographics. So I know that a very large part of you that are watching this channel are, 18 to 25 and 25 to 35. It drops off a little bit, but a decent amount of viewers are 35 to 45. But that is the biggest part of my demographic. When it goes up from 45 to 55 and 55 to 65, the numbers drop off significantly. So let me ask you guys this. If you are 18 to 45 and your alternative to crypto is to work for another 20, 30, 40 years, saving up in your 401k, hoping that maybe by the time you're 60 or 70 years old, you're going to have enough money to really, really retire in style and enjoy your life. If that's your alternate plan, why do you get so impatient when crypto does what crypto does? Even if you've been around just for a few months, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, a year, if you've taken the time to educate yourself, you should know that this is crypto. Crypto's volatile. It goes way up. It goes way down. It goes way back up. It goes way back down. So folks, this is to be expected. And for those of you that weren't at a number, let's just say that you had $10,000 or $20,000 invested, and at its peak, it was $50,000 or even $100,000, and you were excited because you'd 5x or 10x your investment. But if your ultimate goal, your freedom, say was at $1 million and you were only at 100, then why are you so sad if you're back down to 10,000 or even down to 5,000? It's just a number on a computer screen, folks. And the fact of the matter is right now gives you an opportunity to get back to the million or more much easier than you were going to have to do it if you had to continue to invest at last year's high prices when Bitcoin was 60 something thousand, Polkadot was $55, Chainlink was $50, ADA was up at $3, and I can go on and on and on, folks. Right now, you have the opportunity of a lifetime to scoop up these amazing projects at lower prices, way lower than I thought we might ever see again, even though as long as I've been in crypto, I should have known that we were going to have another miserable bear market. And don't get me wrong, folks, this isn't as low as it can go. We can definitely see more pain. We can see $13,000 Bitcoin, $500 Ethereum, $2-3 polka dot, $2 polka dot for all I know, and all of the altcoins there. Matic right now is sitting, I want to say, at 39 cents. It could get beaten all the way back down to 15, 20 cents. But my point is that would be fantastic. Like if you're sitting there right now, today, right here, watching this video, and I could tell you, you have two choices. You can either let Bitcoin go back up to 50, 60,000 and your portfolio will recover a reasonable amount of its losses. You might not be all the way even, but you'll be back to looking fairly close to even or in decent shape. Or Bitcoin can capitulate down to $12,000 and all of the cryptos that we want to buy can go down by another 75, 80%, and you have an opportunity to scoop them all up. Which choice would you make? Well, folks, I don't want to be the guy that's rooting for doom and gloom, but I got to tell you, I would love to see Bitcoin capitulate and get down to $12,000 and have an opportunity to buy Polkadot, Matic, Chainlink, all of these tokens that I'm so excited about for the future at rock bottom prices. Because the fact of the matter is, if Bitcoin runs all the way back up to 60,000, it's not going to change my life. It's not going to make that big of a difference in the short term. I need Bitcoin to go up to 100, 152, 250,000 in order to really get back up to multi millions where I never have to worry about finances again. But if all of these tokens come down to these extremely low levels, we will be able to scoop them up. And over the next couple of years, 2 to 5 years. So the alternative, as I said in the title, is the 2 to 5 year plan. And that's where you start buying these projects up. You start figuring out ways to make extra money. You go get a second job. You start a side hustle. If all you're doing right now is working from 9 to 5 and coming home and watching Netflix, you're not serious about your freedom. You're not serious about creating wealth in your life. Right now is an opportunity of a lifetime to put the pedal to the metal. Like I said, get a second job. Go drive for Uber. Do a side hustle. I know a ton of people that are making extra money buying and selling stuff off of Craigslist. They go get the stuff that's free on Craigslist and then they sell it. Or they go to garage sales and they're buying stuff and then they're selling it on OfferUp. Right now, the used car market is super, super hot. I got a guy that came through my neighborhood not long ago and put little signs on all of the cars saying, hey, if you're interested in selling this, please give me a call. And I actually sold him 2 of my rigs. I had a couple of rigs that I hadn't used for a year. They were sitting there with dead batteries and kind of just dirty. And anyways, and I sold him the rigs, and I'm certain that he went and fixed them up, put a few $100s into them, advertised them on OfferUp, and made some good money. I didn't want to go through that hassle, but he did. There's so many ways that you can create income to boost your investment money to get ahead in life, because right now is an opportunity. And the other thing, folks, and I don't want to scare anybody that's watching this, the flip side of that is if you don't do something right now and you just do the status quo and go to work and come home and pay your bills, in the next 2 to 5 years, I think you're going to be in very bad trouble, because I don't see the prices of gases coming down. I don't see the price of our food coming down. I don't see the price of travel coming down. I don't see anything coming down. I think that we are going to see inflation no matter how hard they try to fight it. We're going to see higher and higher and higher prices. We're going to see people getting wiped out. I know here in Las Vegas, I've had multiple people whose rent almost doubled on them when their lease ran up. I know one married couple that their rent doubled. Most people out there in this world cannot afford rent to double. In fact, most people are hurting just because of the extra 100 or 2 that they're paying for gas every month. And and folks, that's something that makes me sad. We're in America, or I'm in America. I don't know where you are, but the land of the free, the land of the brave, the land of opportunity, the land where you're supposed to be able to go out and create your dreams. And I've got friends and family that are struggling financially because gas prices went up a little bit. That's not how it's meant to be, folks. All right, man, I'm going to get off my high horse here. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad, but I just want you to know that if you are being impatient, if this bear market is pissing you off, you need to find a new perspective. One of the attitudes that I have in life is everything is happening for me, not to me. I know that my God has a good plan for my life. I know that my God is all good. It's love. Everything that happens is for a reason. Just a couple of days ago, I was scheduled to go to the Bahamas for 20 days. Vacation of a lifetime. I went there for about 6 days last year. This year, I had 20 days planned out. And unfortunately, one of the people in my party came down with COVID. You got to take a COVID test to get the travel visa. So everybody was at my house, everybody that was getting ready to go. All 5 of us went and did the COVID test, and one person came up positive. We had to postpone the trip. Well, so many people would let them they'd let that kill them. They would be frustrated and crying and upset. And we got all this money spent on plane tickets and the house and the rental car. Folks, yeah, we weren't happy about it in the moment, but we got over it quickly. And now we're excited. We got the trip planned for November instead of now. Everything's fallen into place. And I don't know why I wasn't supposed to be in the Bahamas during this 20 days, but I know there was a good reason. I know there was something that I either need to be doing here right now, or something bad was happening in the Bahamas. And I know that I'm just happy that it got postponed. And folks, I want you to start considering that. If you look at everything in life as something that's happening to you and it's bad and it's miserable and you're the victim, I really want you to take a close look at that and really start looking at maybe considering changing your perspective to everything happens for me instead of everything happens to me. Let's get over to the chat here, folks. I appreciate you that are on here. Hey, Annette, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. And you make a good point. And Social Security might be gone by then. For us that are here in the United States, that is a huge concern. I think there's a very high possibility that by the time I'm actually, ready for Social Security, which is another 15, 16 years, I'm 48, so 62 to 65, I'm not counting on Social Security. I'm not going to need it. But definitely that is very, very true. The Social Security might not even be here. Jonathan, I agree totally. Thank you. Appreciate that. Jonathan also asked me, what top projects beside Bitcoin and Ethereum do you suggest? Well, that's a good question, and I definitely do have a little bit of an answer for you, Jonathan. And that's one of the things that I wanted to get into here. Let me head over, share my screen, and get over to CoinGecko. As you guys know, I love the old coingecko.com. And, in the title, I mentioned that I was going to kind of give you guys a little bit of a 2 to 5 year plan for how to create freedom in your life. So depending on the amount of money that you have and the position that you're in, I do love Bitcoin and I do love Ethereum. And I think that those are both important to be putting your money into. I think that right now you're going to lose less on those than you will the other cryptos. Like, for instance, if you go down here and you look at Polkadot, Polkadot is still, $7.27. If Bitcoin capitulates from 20,000 all the way down to say 13,000, that's what, about a 35%, around a 35% loss. Well, if Bitcoin goes down by 35%, you could figure this Polkadot will probably go down by 75 to 90%. So even though Polkadot is down from $55, its all-time high, down to $7.27, this could still, what's 80% of 7? 8 times 7 is 56, $5.50. So $5.60, $5.60 minus 727 leaves what, about a buck 60. Like, so theoretically speaking, we could see Polkadot go down, to $1.60. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but my point is those of you that want to just invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're not going to see those kinds of losses where you lose 80, 90% on your money. Like Ethereum could, go down to 500, but Bitcoin is, probably not going any lower than 13,000, I don't believe. So you've got a 35% loss on Bitcoin if you buy it right now and it does capitulate, where you've got potentially about a 80 or 90% potential loss still on altcoins. Now, don't get me wrong. If you buy Polkadot today at $7.27, and then Bitcoin capitulates down and goes down to 13,000, and then you get an opportunity to buy Polkadot at $1 or $2, you should not be that sad that you spent some at 727. At 727, I guarantee you, in a couple of years, you are going to be very happy, and you are going to be talking to friends and family in 2 to 5 years, and you're going to tell them that you bought Polkadot at $7, and they're going to say, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I would love to buy Polkadot at $7, because I believe that Polkadot is going to be a couple $100 token in the next 2 to 5 years, and I think it could be as high as several $100 to $1,000 token in the next decade, even in the next couple 2 to 5 years, depending on the next bull run and what kind of a blow off top we get, what kind of adoption is in place. So that's one of the tokens, Jonathan, is Polkadot, is one of the tokens that I am super, super excited about, that I am buying. I'm holding my Polkadot, and I know that this is contrary to what a lot of people like to do. I'm holding my Polkadot on Voyager. I'm getting 10% in Polkadot on it. So for every 100 Polkadot I own, I'm earning another 10 Polkadot a year by holding it in the Voyager app. I feel fairly safe with that. I know that a lot of people, with what just happened with Celsius, are not excited about holding their crypto outside of their own private wallets, and I don't blame you. I'm very much a proponent of not your keys, not your crypto. At the same time, when I've got an asset like Polkadot that I think is going to go up 20, 30, 40, 50, 100x over the next handful of years, to me, the risk versus the reward is there. I want to earn that 10% interest, because that 10% interest is going to be more like 200 or 300% interest as Polkadot climbs. The other top token that I'm very, very excited about is Chainlink. These are two that I would be very, very, very comfortable dollar cost averaging into. So Polkadot and Chainlink are two of my favorites. This is another token that I think minimum is going to be worth a couple $100 over the next 2 to 5 years, and could very well likely be $1,000 token over the next 5 to 10 years. So what I did today, folks, before I hopped online, is I was curious if you bought if you just bought, $5,000 worth of 5 different projects, and your goal was to be a millionaire in the next 5 years, what 5 projects could you buy into? And the 5 that I decided that if I had 25 grand and I was going to invest it $5,000 into 5 different tokens, I would buy, roughly $500 DOT. I think actually right now at $7 a piece, you can actually get more than 500 DOT. That would only be a little over $3,500. So you can actually probably buy more like what, six or $700, $600 or $700 DOT with $5,000. The second one would be this one that's right here, Chainlink. That's $6.58. I want to say you can buy in the ballpark of about 750 Chainlink. The third token that I would buy, and let me preface this, that if you ask 10 different YouTubers, they're probably going to have 10 different tokens on their list, or at least, there are 5 tokens. There would probably be at least 2 or 3 that aren't on my list, but I love Cardano at 50 cents. So at 50 cents, you can buy about $10,000 tokens in the ADA. Matic is another one that's way up high on my list, and I pulled it up a little bit ago. I want to say it was about 39 cents. At 39 cents, you can buy, say, about 12,500 Matic, and then XRP was going to round out the list. I think that XRP, when it wins its lawsuit, is going to do amazing things. And so I was going to round that up at about 32 cents a token, right around 15,000 XRP. So to reiterate, I'd be looking at somewhere in the ballpark of about 700 DOT, 750 Link, 10,000 ADA, 12,500 Matic, and 15,000 XRP. And then if you extrapolate out over the next 5 to 10 years, I don't think I don't think, folks, that I'm being that aggressive when I say that I think Polkadot can be $200 over the next 5 years. I don't think I'm being that aggressive when I say that Chainlink could be $200 over the next 5 years. In fact, I think that those will both outperform those opinions. Once again, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I don't have my securities license. This is just a guy that created financial freedom in my life and now is trying to pay it forward and help other people, especially in this crazy market where people are, so dejected, depressed, and miserable. I want to help people have some hope that over the next 2 to 5 years, they can totally change their life if they follow some just simple steps and get some money invested in some of these projects. I like it if Jay says that is low. I love it. I love it, Jay. $1,000 is probably closer to what I think too. But I wanted to just go with a little bit of little bit of a conservative model. I'm curious to see what you guys think. I believe that ADA, which was the third token, the 10,000 ADA could be worth $25 a token in the next 2 to 5 years. So that would make 10,000 ADA worth 250 grand. The Matic, I think Matic can be a $20 token over the next 2 to 5 years. That would make 12,500 Matic worth 250 grand. And then XRP, I put $10 down. I know its all-time high was $3.60. $10 probably sounds totally out of the question. I know a lot of people figure that market cap is unachievable by XRP, so maybe I'm overshooting XRP there. I don't know. But even at $10, 15,000 XRP would only be 150 grand. So even if I'm wrong, it's not going to change things significantly. But if you take those numbers and you take 700 DOT at 200 is 140,000. 750 Link at $200 is 150 grand. 10,000 ADA at $25 is 250,000. 12,500 Matic at $20 is 250,000. And then 15,000 XRP would be 150,000. That's $900,000 in 5 years from a $25,000 investment, folks. Now, if you're sitting there saying, I don't have 25 grand, the good news is I think you have some time. We're going to see these prices for a while, and I think we're even going to see some lower prices for part of the next couple of years. So you don't have to have $25,000 today. That's why I was saying earlier, go get to work. If you're serious about being a multimillionaire, serious about changing your financial life, serious about being able to take the vacation of your dreams and to be able to have the time to spend with your kids and your wife, your spouse that you want to, quit watching TV for a couple of years and educate yourself about crypto. Make some extra income. Like I said before, you got side hustles, you got Uber, you got second jobs. There's all sorts of ways that you can create more income. Most people can probably cut back on some of their expenses and sacrifice a little bit. And I hate that word sacrifice. It's not really sacrifice. It's investing. It's not that really that it isn't a sacrifice to not go out to dinner and save $100 when that $100 invested into these tokens is going to create $10,000 for you over the next 2 to 5 years. I don't think sacrificing a night out and having a dinner out in public versus eating at home, I don't think that that's actually a sacrifice. I think that's an investment that's creating $10,000 in your life, and that's how you want to look at it. So quit using that word sacrifice. I need to get it out of my vocabulary too, because we're not sacrificing, we're investing. One of my favorite sayings is the chief cause of failure and unhappiness is choosing what you want now over what you want most. So folks, that's kind of my game plan. Those are some of the tokens that I'm super excited about. Those are interchangeable. If you wanted to say, hey, I like Solana instead of Matic, or I like Avalanche instead of XRP, I wouldn't fault you there. I love Avalanche. I like Solana. I'm really big on VeChain, VET, and also Zilliqa, Zil, Z-I-L. Both of those have been knocked down in the lower, from 25 to 50 in their rank. They're both knocked down very, very low. I love both of those tokens. The other neat thing about this process, folks, is after you get in and you get some experience, you get a big portfolio built of some of these foundational coins. Then you can go back to some of my other videos and start looking. Like yesterday, I talked about 3 Launchpad tokens that I'm excited about. I talk about Beam Swap and Moonbeam, Glimmer and Glint. You know, Moonbeam is Glimmer, and Beam Swap is Glint. I talk about those tokens all the time. Those things are crushed down super, 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 super. I wouldn't even call them a microcap. I mean, they're just barely in business. But Moonbeam won a parachain auction. It's a polka dot parachain. It is not going out of business during this bear market. So Moonbeam is high, high, high up on my tokens that are considered beaten way down and that are kind of lower cap gems. And Glint is an amazing DEX on the Moonbeam network. It's also going to be a launch pad. So those are 2 tokens that if you get these other tokens bought, you get a portfolio built up where you can start branching out into some of these tokens that I think can do 1,000x plus. It is not that hard to become wealthy if you pick out a couple thousand X's. I mean, 1,000 times 1,000 is $1 million. If you get $1,000 invested into a project that does 1,000x for you, you can turn $1 million or $1,000 into $1 million. And it's happened for many, 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 many people. I haven't actually hit 1,000x where I had all of the tokens. One of my private sale tokens did 1,000x, but I didn't get all of the tokens. So I wasn't able to actually, make that return. But I have turned $1,000 into over $100,000 multiple times throughout this journey. So even that, just imagine, folks, taking $1,000 here, $1,000 there, and turning it into $100,000 a few times over the next few years, how that's going to change your life. If you don't have ultimate total freedom where you can quit your job, walk away, and never worry about money again, freedom in the next 2 to 5 years, I guarantee you that you can have life-changing wealth. If you had $500,000 in the bank or $1 million in the bank right now, even if that wasn't enough for you to just decide to take a total walk away from your career, your profession, your job, how much would that change your life? How much less stress would that give you? How many more vacations would that get you? How much more time with your family would you be able to enjoy? Folks, that's why I'm so passionate about cryptocurrency, is because I see the freedom that it can give the average person. Somebody working at McDonald's making 15 bucks an hour or 10 bucks an hour, depending on where you live, if they're serious about investing in this cryptocurrency market and willing to hustle, willing to Uber, willing to do some garage sale, and willing to do something when they're not working, they can get enough money into the market over this next couple of years to totally change their life. Whoo, man. Wow. I got to take a breath, folks. Let me grab a sip of my coffee here. I can't believe I've been going on for almost a half an hour. I told my wife before this started, this was probably going to just be about a 10, 15-minute live stream. And here we are, a half an hour into it. Ah, man. Jay says, DC archive, yard sales, dollar cost average, have yard sales. Hey, stop smoking, stop Starbucks. Both of those are things that I used to do all the time. I quit smoking now over 20 years ago, but I used to get Starbucks every single day. And that's actually over the last 2 or 3 years. I quit. I bought a coffee pot. I make my own coffee and stuff in the morning, but those are great ways. I love this. Now is the time. Don't buy into the fear. DCA during these dips. I tell you what, Jay, I love having you in this community, and you're so knowledgeable and you're so helpful. Jay has turned me on to a couple of airdrops. This gentleman is very active in the Infinite Crypto Telegram channel, which reminds me, folks, if you're not in our Infinite Crypto Telegram channel, get in there. There's a lot of amazing information. We got a community of almost 300 people that are there to help you create wealth in your life. And Jay is one of the top guys in there that answers questions and helps people so much. Sometimes I think you should be the guy on here talking, Jay, that you should have your own YouTube channel, because you are so knowledgeable and, so helpful. And I know you got a heart for helping people. So, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. There she is. I knew she was hanging out watching. This is my beautiful bride. She's laughing because my 10. Oh, she's laughing because I say my coffee. Okay, folks. I don't make my coffee. My wife makes the coffee in the morning. That's what she's laughing about. You kill me, babe. You kill me. You kill me. You kill me. Oh man. Oh, my wife. I love her so much. Anyways, guys, I am happy to answer a question or two if anybody has any questions. If not, I'm going to let you guys go enjoy the rest of your evening. You know, we just broke 3,000 subscribers not too long ago, man, and I really appreciate all of you that subscribe to the channel and have helped us do that. And I would really appreciate it if you would share some of my videos in your socials with your friends, with your family. If you have people that are struggling, that are hurting, you know, I found even in my own circle, when I try to tell somebody that I know that knows me, a lot of times they have trouble. They have trouble listening to me and trusting me because they saw all the failures in my life. You know, folks, I'm 49 years old. 5 years ago, before I started this crypto journey, I didn't have two nickels to rub together. You know, some of you have heard my story. Back in 2017, one of my best friends, a business mentor, a guy that I had a lot of respect for, was investing into Ethereum at $9. He was investing into Neo, which was then called Ant Shares, at like 20, 25 cents. He begged me to get into crypto early in 2017 and all throughout 2017. And I didn't. And part of the reason that I didn't is I didn't have any money. I was also skeptical, but I was broke. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I made good money, but I loved to spend my money. And folks, I watched him turn $9,500 into 2.2 million during 2017 and the beginning of 18 during that bull run there from like November to January of 2017, 2018. I watched him 9,500 into 2.2 million. And that got my attention. And that's why I'm sitting here today. Is after I watched him do that, I dove into crypto and I did everything that he told me to do. And I listened to him and I held my crypto and I held it when it was 70% down and I held it when it was 80 and I held it when it was 90. And I kept buying and I kept buying and I kept holding and I kept holding. That's all I did right. I made so many mistakes during the first 2 or 3 years of my crypto journey. It was unbelievable. I mean, I didn't do anything right except for buy and hold. And thank God I got into some of the right projects. And when things turned around in 2020 and then in 2021, I made more money in about 5 months of my life than I made the rest of my life combined. But folks, I am nothing special. All I did was buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold. Folks, it's so simple. Everybody wants to complicate creating wealth in crypto. It's so simple. Buy it, hold it. Time is your friend. Give it 2 years, 5 years, even if it takes 10. What is your alternative? What are you going to do that's going to create multi-millions of dollars for you, allow you to have a passive income stream that'll allow you to travel the world and do whatever you want to do in life? It ain't your job, I guarantee you. It ain't your 401k. That ain't going to do it. So, folks, you don't really have any other great alternatives. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. Blockchain technology is going to overtake the world. It's going to become part of our normal everyday lives. It's going to be involved in real estate and AI. It's going to be part of our cars. Blockchain technology is going to take over the way that internet and cell phones have dominated the space over the last 20 years. Oh boy, what do we got here? What are ways you update yourself on the market? So I myself, I am a YouTuber, but I love YouTube because for me, reading can just be a little bit boring and stale. So I enjoy listening to somebody. So while I'm exercising, while I'm at the gym, lots of different times, I listen to a lot of YouTubers too. I really like several YouTubers out there. I like Lark Davis. I like Elio Trades. I like Chico Crypto. I like BitBoy Crypto. I know there's a lot of people that don't like those guys or that don't like one or more of them. I enjoy listening to those guys. And even if they don't get it right all the time, at least they give me some ideas. They give me some things to look at. There's lots of smaller crypto YouTubers too out there. I've got a friend named Aaron that is owner of Cowboys of Crypto. He does a lot of deep dives and looks into a lot of low cap microgem projects. Now, everything that he's looking at doesn't necessarily turn to gold. He's covered a lot of stinkers, but he definitely has found some winners too. I love him. There's some guys here in Vegas called Sin City Crypto. They do a live stream every day at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, and I really enjoy their live stream. They're super, super entertaining, but they do have some great content. So YouTube is my number one way. And then, just, CoinGecko. I love going on to CoinGecko and checking out the company's websites. You can get all their socials. Usually on CoinGecko you can see their Twitter, you can see their Discord, their Reddit, and their Medium. Just about all of the socials a lot of times are posted right on CoinGecko, where you can go take a closer look and do a deep dive yourself into these projects. But I really love YouTube. You're sitting there going, hey, how do I do a MetaMask wallet? I keep hearing about this MetaMask. What do? You go to YouTube, and you right up in the search engine, just type in how to install MetaMask, and you'll get 10 or 20 different videos that'll teach you how you can install MetaMask. How do I send my crypto from one wallet to another? These are a lot of questions that I get asked all the time by people, and all they got to do is just go type that into the search engine in YouTube. Type in, how do I send my crypto from one wallet to another? Boom. I mean, there's just about nothing on YouTube that you can't learn. You want to change the carburetor on your 1957 Plymouth, Reliant? Go Google, how do I change my carburetor on a 1957 Plymouth Reliant? And I just about guarantee you something will pop up. Hey, Hedge Pro, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for being here. Yeah, I am live. I know I had a couple 2 or 3 week hiatus there. I had some medical stuff going on. I had some family stuff going on. I had my trip to the Bahamas that was supposed to be going on that ended up getting postponed until November because I had a family member that ended up with COVID. We went in and got tested for our travel visas. And the day before we left, or actually the day we were leaving for the Bahamas, one of them came back positive for COVID, and that ended up making the whole trip not happen for everybody. So we had to postpone it. But yeah, I am back and looking forward to being here solid, because during a bull market, you guys don't need me. I mean, it's fun. I can help. I give you guys some good tips. But right now, I think is when people like myself hopefully provide the most value, because hope is everything. When someone loses hope, man, life can become pretty devastating. But you can literally be living in a cardboard box out, in a field with nothing to your name. But if there's something that gives you hope, if you see light at the end of the tunnel, if you see a better future, then you can get through those types of things. But you could be living in a penthouse mansion with a swimming pool and a Ferrari outside. And if you're hopeless for some reason, there's people all day long that are rich and famous and stuff that take their own lives because they've lost all hope for whatever reason. So I hope to be a light in this darkness. I hope to be a beacon of hope for those of you that are maybe, starting to feel some hopelessness. For those of you that are starting to say, man, maybe this crypto isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Maybe this cryptocurrency investing isn't going to, change my life like I thought it was. I want to be one of those voices that tells you, yes, it is. You just got to stick with it. You just got to stay in the game. Don't quit, man. I love that saying, you remember that guy who quit, or you remember that guy who quit? No, neither does anybody else. Nobody remembers the guy who quit. Every movie that you see, every famous person that you know, they all went through struggles. They all had huge struggles sometimes. If you've never heard it, go Google Sylvester Stallone's story. He has an amazing story as to what happened in his life, what led up to the creation of Rocky. Go Google that story. See, so many times we see these famous people, these wealthy people, and we don't know what they went through to get there. In every case, they went through a ton. Like me, even my story. Broke, spent every penny. I mean, I was so lazy for a period of my life that I was about ready to lose my girlfriend, who is now my wife. In fact, she moved. We split up for a short period of time. She moved out. And part of the reason that she moved out is because I was being so lazy that I wasn't even providing for my family the way that I should have been as a man. Then I get involved in crypto after we get back together. And thank God she gave me the freedom to do what I did, and to trust me and let me go through what I went through in 18 and 19 and 20. But it wasn't easy. And I'm telling you, folks, I don't want to get too soft here. I don't want to, maybe expose myself too much. But man, I went through a lot in those years. And there was a point in time in December of 2020, I swear to goodness, I was at my dad's house with my family, my wife and my two kids. We're at my dad's house in Palm Beach, California, getting ready to celebrate Christmas. And because I didn't want to spend my crypto, because crypto had gotten beaten down quite a bit towards the end of the year in 2020. I had pretty much bought all of the Christmas presents and everything on credit cards. And I was sitting in a car. My dad and I had went to run an errand. I was sitting in a car and I broke down and cried in front of my dad. And I said, man, I don't know what I'm going to do if crypto keeps going down, man. I'd already quit my job too soon. So learn that lesson for me. Don't quit your job too soon. I quit my job. I was living off of my crypto. It was dwindling. I was also a semi-professional poker player, so I made some income playing poker. I just got done going through a horrible downswing. October, November, December of 2020 were some of the worst months of my life in poker. I'd lost $40,000 in those 3 months. My crypto portfolio had been getting slaughtered. And there I am crying to my father, telling him, if this goes on for much longer, I'm going to have to find a job. I'm going to have to do something else, because I knew crypto was eventually going to change my life, but I didn't know when. And I swear to goodness, a few days later, before that trip was even over, because I stayed there at my dad's house until January 1st, roughly, and celebrated Christmas and then the New Year's, all of a sudden, Bitcoin started taking off. A bunch of my coins started going up. Before I even left his house, my portfolio was headed up. And then January, Bitcoin just kept going up. February, it kept going up. I believe it was February or March when it hit its all-time, or broke through its last all-time high at 20 grand and started headed up towards 30 and then 40. And like I said, during that 5 or 6 months, I went from crying in my dad's car, not knowing what I was going to do, to making more money than I'd made the whole rest of my life. And folks, I just tell you that story to give you hope. I love you guys, and I want to see you be successful. The most heartbreaking thing in the world to me is to have somebody come into this space that has what it takes to make it, that understands crypto a little bit and it's willing to invest in it, and then they get taken out by the FUD, by the bad news, by the people that are manipulating the market, by these volatilities, by stuff going down 75, 80, 90, 95%, and it knocks them out of the game and they never get what they could have had. And I don't want to see that happen to my community. So before I cry anymore, I'm going to get out of here, man. I love you all very much, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great night. Take care.